Right, this directly bears upon what the fuck I've been talking about.
The energy of earth, soil, sky. The ancient Chinese feng shui masters considered the treasure of earth to include the minerals and soil of all land formations, such as mountains, valleys, deserts, etc. Understanding the flow of energy across and within the landscape is one of the most essential skills in energy cultivation. The ancient Chinese Taoists believed that the yang celestial breath of the Tao impregnates and distributes its Shenling, magical spirits within the soil and land, settling within the mountains, hills, valleys, and other structures. This celestial breath can either be accumulated or expanded, active or latent, floating on the surface or hidden underneath, or combined with other structures of nature. The soil of the land is an important aspect to consider when gathering qi. In ancient China, it was believed that high-quality L-Euro-ontained soil that had a solid but moist texture and consistency, being neither too wet nor too dry. The soil's dominant color, green, blue, red, yellow, fly brown, white, or black, was believed to be determined by the particular element governing that land area. For example, reddish soil was considered to be full of celestial breath and to contain powerful Shenling, while rocky soil was considered to be breathless and therefore weak. Additionally, certain types of rocks and soil were said to have higher concentrations of energy, while other types of rocks and soil had less. 18. Young sprout. Layer of said humus. Within the soil. Phonics. Figure 1.11. The Chinese character for earth boy. The ancient Chinese Taoists believed that when heaven, sky, and earth were separated during creation, the generative energy, being heavy, descended and sank into the ground. It was therefore believed that absorbing the essence of the earth could replenish the individual's generative energy. The ancient Taoists believed that the earth energy expresses its power in man's life through the basic instincts for survival and the primal drives for sex and reproduction. The Chinese character for earth, 01. The Chinese ideogram, Dai, is composed of two characters. On the left side is the ancient radical 2, meaning earth, soil, ground, expressing as the organic aspect of the earth that produces all things. The top line represents the surface soil and the layer of humus through which life emerges, a sprout extending out of the ground. The bottom line represents the subsoil, the rock. On the right side is the phonetic Dai. Together, both characters Chudi can be translated as earth, soil, land, place, and territory. Figure 1.11. Understanding the landscape. The ancient Taoists believed that the forces of the landscape were in a continual state of energetic flux. The energetic forces of yin and yang, the five elements, the Bagua and 64 hexagram powers, the five planets, the star constellations, and the 10,000 things existing between heaven and earth constantly interact and change according to the various cycles of life. In practical terms, this constant energetic interaction manifests in 8 basic categories in Taoist magical feng shui: the movement of water, the topographical flow, normal and abnormal landforms, the location of sha qi, the location of the residence, understanding the mountain dragon, the dragon's pulse, and the dragon's lair. See pages 23 to 24. Each of these 8 basic landscape categories are described as follows. The movement of water. The quality and movement of the watercourse or pools flowing through or close to an area indicate the energetic potential of the site. It also indicates the energetic quality of the soil, minerals, plants, and trees in the surrounding environment. For example, sluggish or stagnant water can affect the energetic field of a site, especially if it is an area where sha qi can accumulate.
That's what we got.
The topographical flow. The topographical flow refers to whether the energetic flow of the surrounding water and mountains is moving with or being at odds with the flow of qi. This is one of the most important feng shui principles of balance and harmony. All fog mountains are static by nature, the beauty lies in their energetic motion and flow of qi. The term flow refers not only to the direction of the mountain range or watercourse, but also the direction that a coastline runs. Moving with the flow, this is defined as energetically flowing in the same direction as the energy of the mountain range or watercourse is moving. For example, mountains are considered to move with the flow if they Daoist weather magic and feng shui. A largely flat, straightforward with little undulations and curves. In similar fashion, water that runs directly away from a land site without being checked is considered to move with the flow. Being at odds with the flow, this is defined as energetically flowing in opposition to the direction that the energy of the mountain range or watercourse is moving. For example, mountains that are full of rises and falls, peaks and valleys, curves and turns are considered to be at odds with the flow. In similar fashion, a watercourse can be checked by the presence of mountains, stones, or islands, which being at odds with the flow, cause the force of the water to slow down, stop, and cool, or come around and become redirected. The ancient Taoists have a saying, water is mobile, when checked it will keep the qi, when unchecked, it will run away with the qi. As a general rule, a Taoist mystic looks for specific land sites that are at odds with the flow of energy in areas that are largely moving with the flow of energy, and vice versa. Knowing how to find these secret auspicious areas allows the sorcerer to position him or herself in the most power. From places for gathering and cultivating qi and shen. The ideal situation is to find a terrain that goes with the watercourse while having some mountains downstream that check the water flow and cause it to come, slow down, and cool. This allows the environmental energy time to build up within the pool and makes it easier for the Taoist mystic to absorb the naturally collected qi. Additionally, if the water flows from the right to the left of a site, this observation is performed while standing in the center of the site and looking outward. Look to the left downstream to see if there are high mountains. If not, see whether there are large, tall trees positioned in that direction. Such mountains or trees are considered to be good protectors and are called promoting spirits. The taller they are, the better the feng shui of the area will be. If, however, mountains or trees are positioned on the right, upstream, they are considered to be demoting spirits, and will have a bad impact on the area. 19. Normal and abnormal landforms. Auspicious land sites are most easily found by looking for abnormalities existing among normal landforms. Most abnormalities are considered to be auspicious, since the majority of normal sites tend to be commonplace and lack the magical influence that extraordinary sites contain. And 1. Abnormality is defined as being uncharacteristic in feature. If any area in a flat landform is raised or lowered, that area is considered to be abnormal in comparison. Likewise, in a mountainous area that normally contains undulation in its landform, a flat area would be considered abnormal. In the same fashion, an area of dry land found in a country abounding in rivers is considered to be abnormal, and an oasis of water and trees found within the desert is considered to be abnormal. To the ancient Taoists, locating the abnormal within the normal was akin to finding the yin within the yang, or the yang within the yin. This principle of normality and abnormality also includes finding the contrast between long and short, i.e. in an area where long mountains abo 1, MD, look for the auspicious short mountain, high and low, i.e. in an area where high mountains abound, look for the auspicious areas located in relatively flat land, etc. As such relationships of yin and yang cause a desirable pooling or dispersing of energy. The location of Sha Qi. The Chinese word sha, meaning evil or killing, is the term used to describe the unusual and inauspicious formations of earth, mud, or sand found within a land site or riverbank. The ancient Taoists believed that although qi produces life, its energetic nature is sometimes subject to decay. This is especially true if there is an absence or weakness in any area that allows Sha Qi to enter and manifest. Sha Qi can appear as the result of one element, the energetic manifestations of wood, fire, earth, metal and water, overpowering or destroying another element. Sha Qi can also be imagined as a cold wind that blows from the earth through the hollows of the land, piercing gaps in ridges or outcrops that 20. Energetically protect a site. This type of Sha Qi saps the life and distributes malignant influences. There are 4 main types of Sha Qi that can adversely affect the natural energy within a monastery, temple, home, or living quarters. All 4 of these types of Sha Qi can cause loss of wealth, illness, loss of loved ones, loss of reputation, etc., and are described as follows. Juming Sha Qi, terminal killing Qi. This type of evil Qi causes the residents to suffer total loss in every aspect of their lives. It is known as the most harmful type of energy to inflict upon a resident, and if not corrected or dispersed, it will cause the occupants to lose their wealth, health, happiness, good name, descendants, and property. Lu Sha Qi, 6 killings Qi. This type of evil Qi bring the individuals living in the residence bad luck, and it can cause loss of wealth, health, loss of loved ones, loss of reputation. Wu Gui Qi, 5 devils Qi. This type of evil Qi bring the individuals living in the residence bad luck, can cause loss of wealth, health, loss of tilderovid ones, loss of reputation. Hao Qi, hostile Qi. This type of evil Qi bring the individuals living in the residence a mild form of bad luck, and can cause loss of wealth, health, loss of loved ones, loss of reputation. Sha Qi and sorcery. In ancient China, where the Taoist sorcerer chose to cultivate his or her Jing, Qi, and Shen was considered to be extremely important. The ancient Taoists believed that the energetic patterns set up by the intertwining currents of wind and water constantly affected an individual's body, mind, spirit, and faith. It is common knowledge that the ancient Chinese sorcerers who had mastered the art of feng shui could also use the supernatural forces of Sha Qi in order to harm an enemy. Through the manipulation of the Earth's energetic currents, both physical and psychological harm could be initiated upon the victim living inside the targeted residence. The following are examples of situations in which Sha Qi gathers into specific areas. Since any amount of Sha Qi can adversely affect the energetic fields of people, places, and things, it is especially important to avoid practicing energetic and spiritual cultivation in or around these areas. Movement confrontation. In ancient times, standing at the junction of a, T, or X-shaped intersection, e.g., the energetic flow of a road, street, or path of earth, wind, or water, was considered to be equivalent to exposing oneself to the vulnerability of the energetic piercing of a spear, figure 1.12. The dead-end street. Standing at an energetic junction of a dead-end-shaped intersection, e.g., the energetic flow of a road, street, or path of earth, wind, or water, was considered to be equivalent to exposing oneself to the vulnerability of the energetic fury of a rushing wave smashing into a rock, figure 1.13. The opposite bow. Standing at an energetic junction of an opposite bow-shaped pathway, e.g., the energetic flowing of a road, street, or path of earth, wind, or water, was considered to be equivalent to exposing oneself to the vulnerability of either an energetic flying knife or an energetic vacuum, depending on where one was standing. In ancient China, the area subject to the energetic attack of these flying knives was sometimes known as the river that cuts the feet. Figure 1.14. The location of the residence. The residence Jai is considered to be the actual site or dwelling place. This includes the training area, office, house, tomb, or burial ground. When a dwelling is built on a particular site, the energy of that area, such as warm wind coming from the south or cold wind coming from the north, is gathered and integrated into the edifice, affecting the inhabitants. From an ancient Chinese Taoist perspective, the flow of energy within any given region changes from year to year and season to season. This can be seen manifesting through patterns of clouds, mist, rain, snow, flights of birds, and other natural phenomena. DAOIST, weather magic and feng shui.
Is that an I?
Do not practice sitting or standing meditation at an area where energetic pathways of earth, wind, or water.
So that was the most relevant shit and why I recorded it, because it's very useful. It's very useful in the next round of learning. God, my fucking head hurts so bad. So I've seen every single one of those things happen. Where our river is at, we get the Sha Qi come into the land. The river, everything it says on there is fucking legit. This has been a long time now. The river that cuts the feet, yes, all of it. Flying Night, all of it. It's all legit. So those guys knew their shit. And I really appreciate listening to things that talk about the invisible world's dynamics being as somebody who kind of feels that shit in myself. So it's good to find out and know what the past people knew. But these motherfuckers now, I don't want to get into some science shit. Anyway, this is from Jerry Allen Johnson. I apologize. I have to use this part of this book for your for people to know what is going on during this crisis time, because there's also a lot of four-way mixing frequency weapon shit attacks, because of the evidence of that is clear too. So, in order to endure and live and try to at least strike back if need be, now we know the Shar-Chi can be used to attack the enemy. Please like, share, or subscribe.